You stop checking Twitter for like 5 minutes and all hell breaks loose. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Raps Report, a podcast where I talk about the Raptors and the NBA. I'm your host, Luca Rosano, and we got some major Woj bombs to talk about. The landscape of the NBA has changed on a dime, and this is some crazy news we're about to get into. Before we do just that, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more, ring the bell, go follow me on social media so we can talk about this further, and leave your comments down below because I know you guys are going to have a ton to say about this. And before we begin, I do want to give a special shout out to Raider Rocha, who just joined as a superstar channel member. Thank you, good sir. Remember, guys, you can help support the channel by becoming a channel member today. All right. Breaking news, James Harden is not going to the Raptors. He's not going to the Sixers, as it looked like the Sixers were about to trade for the superstar. No, James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets, and the Nets didn't have to give up Kyrie Irving. So all of a sudden in Brooklyn, you got a new big three of KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Of course, Harden and KD reuniting from their days at Oklahoma City. And this is just going to be a crazy team to watch. So let's get into the details of this deal. So Woj tweeted out, reporting with Ramona Shelburne, Brooklyn's acquiring James Harden in a three-way deal with Cleveland. Karis LeVert, Dante Exum, Kurix, 4 first-round picks, including the Cavs' 2022 first via the Bucks, and 4 Nets pick swaps to the Rockets. Jaren Allen, Taurean Prince to the Cavs. And then some more details about the deal. Again, sources with Ramona Shelburne. Brooklyn sends 3 unprotected first-round picks, 2022, 2024, and 2026 in the deal, plus pick swaps in 2021, 2023, 2025, and 2027. The Rockets get Cleveland's 2022 first-round pick via the Bucks. And then Woj went on to tweet again, the Nets are acquiring a 2024 second-round pick in the deal from the Cavaliers. Sources tell ESPN. For the Cavaliers, Jarrett Allen solidifies their future at the center spot. He's only 22 years old. And then, when you thought that was going to be the only deal of the day, right after, Woj tweets out another bomb. The Rockets are expanding the deal, sending Karis LeVert to the Pacers for Victor Oladipo. Sources tell ESPN. So, after all that, the Rockets are getting Oladipo after they lose James Harden. So this is crazy stuff, guys. We knew it was only a matter of time until James Harden was going to be traded, especially after his comments from last night, saying what he said, leaving the podium abruptly. You knew the Rockets had to get rid of this guy, and the very next day, they were on the phone. It was set to be that the Sixers and the Nets, it was going to come down to one of these two teams. It looked like the Sixers at one point were the leading candidate, and then quickly came in the Nets to steal all the thunder as they put together a package to get James Harden. So this is just mind-boggling, guys. I mean, first and foremost, let's talk about this trade for the Brooklyn Nets. You talk about a team that's all in. You talk about a team that's in win-now mode. They now have 3 of arguably the top 10 players in the NBA. Okay, if you're not going to consider Kyrie a top 10 player, they definitely have 2 of the top 10 players right now in the NBA on the same team. Of course, they got the familiarity with one another. This offense is going to be dynamite. Let's see if their defense can play somewhat decent to make Brooklyn a legitimate title contender. But you got to consider the Nets a legitimate title contender, especially going after James Harden. Yes, he has not looked good so far. Yes, he looks a little hefty, maybe put on some weight, but anytime you can add James Harden and his historically great offensive ability to your team, you know that is a major upgrade. I feel good about my Brooklyn Nets pick of winning the championship. I said that they were going to win the championship before trading for James Harden. Now that they have James Harden, this is going to be a team that I don't think too many teams can stop. The only ones that can stop this Brooklyn Nets team, in my opinion, are themselves. And, of course, the big elephant in the room still remains to be Kyrie Irving. What's going on with this guy? Is this guy even going to come back? Is he going to play basketball? But even if the Nets don't have Kyrie Irving, The fact that you got James Harden and Kevin Durant, and you probably will have James Harden and Kevin Durant for the foreseeable future paired with each other, because it was known that James Harden did want to play with Kevin Durant, that screams good news for the Brooklyn Nets and their championship aspirations. If you're the Rockets, I mean, you trade James Harden, you basically went all in to get this guy a couple years ago. Didn't work out. Couldn't win the big series. Couldn't make it to the NBA Finals. Obviously, he was disgruntled. He was unhappy there. Harden basically forced the Rockets' hand in this situation. They had to trade him. And now you have Victor Oladipo, when it's all said and done, another player who was reportedly unhappy with his current situation with the Pacers. Oladipo will now be in the backcourt with John Wall in Houston. So, I mean, this is just a wild day in the NBA. We thought we were going to get these trades closer to the trade deadline, but the fact of the matter is we get these trades just a couple weeks into the NBA season. I mean, I think it's going to be the Nets conference to lose. We've seen how good KD has been lately, and I trust that James Harden will get back on track. For people saying, yeah, he might be on the decline, I don't think so. I think this guy just needed a change of scenery, and this might be the change of scenery needed to spark a new fire under James Harden. So we will see what happens, guys. Wild stuff. And now from the Raptors' perspective, I mean, the East just got a hell of a lot tougher. You got the Sixers playing at an all-time high level. Now you got the Nets, who are already a threat, getting that much better. If you're the Toronto Raptors, you got to figure this thing out quickly. You got to turn your season around. But it was interesting to note that earlier today, Brian Windhorst of ESPN did say that the Raptors expect them to be a candidate to make a trade to upgrade their roster. So obviously there was a ton of rumors surrounded around the Raptors, and if they were going to part ways with Siakam to try to get a James Harden, that's of course shut down after the recent news of Harden going to the Nets. So we're not going to be trading Siakam now. That solidifies that for the Raptors, and we're going to keep our core intact. But could the Raptors go out and make a semi move, a semi to big move, maybe even a moderate move just to upgrade their roster? Clearly they need a center, and with everything that's transpired, the Raptors definitely need to get better if they want any chance of competing in a very, very stacked and deep Eastern Conference. So wow. What an eventful day in the NBA. Did not expect us to be talking about all this news all at once. So guys, that's my reaction. I'm stunned a little bit. This is going to make for some very, very interesting narratives to follow along down the line. So let me know your reaction, guys. Hit me up in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell, go and follow me on social media. Consider becoming a channel member today. And we'll keep on pumping out the podcast, the live streams, all that and more. I'll be going live for the Raptors and Hornets game on Thursday, and we will talk about all this more in the live stream. Until next time, be great and stay blessed. Peace.